Hello everybody. In this video, I'll try to understand what happens when Jupiter is present in Punarvasu nakshatra. See, in order to understand this placement, first you need to understand what is Punarvasu nakshatra and what is Jupiter. So, Punarvasu nakshatra is a nakshatra that ranges from almost 20 degrees of Gemini to 3 degree 20 minutes of Cancer. So only the Punarvasu fourth pada is in the Cancer sign, remaining the first three padas are in the sign Gemini itself. So, and it is a Jupiter's nakshatra. So the symbolism of this nakshatra is bow and arrow, right? The bow and arrow case. We say it as quiver, right? And the meaning of this particular energy is return of the light. Punarvasu means the renewal, the restoration, the return of the life, the return of the light or life or anything. So they get all the prosperity back generally once, even though they lose it at some point of time in their life, but they get it again. That is the fundamental behavior of Punarvasu. And the ruling planet of this particular nakshatra is Jupiter, and the deity of this nakshatra is Aditi, the mother of all the gods. And now the nature of this nakshatra is very, very sattvic. It is a pure nakshatra. It's a forgiving nakshatra. It's a pure energy, basically. So the fundamental energy of Punarvasu is about healing, about renewal, about returning to truth. Right? It's always related to some kind of spiritual growth. It is about optimism after difficulties. Even though there are some difficulties in life, there would be some optimism, and finally they achieve very, very good success in life. So it is one of the most purest nakshatras in the whole nakshatra system. There is no other nakshatra which is as pure as Punarvasu. And that's why the deity of this nakshatra is Aditi, means the mother of all the gods. So it is one of the most forgiving energy nakshatras. And now Jupiter is the ruler of this Punarvasu nakshatra. So Jupiter rules Punarvasu nakshatra. Jupiter becomes very, very comfortable in this particular nakshatra. It's something like Jupiter always feels Punarvasu is its own house. So the planet Jupiter can express all of its highest qualities very, very comfortably here. There's no filter, there's nothing. So Jupiter feels very, very comfortable. The energies of Jupiter, like wisdom, compassion, knowledge, protection, dharma, all these qualities of Jupiter are perfectly expressed through Punarvasu nakshatra. So this particular placement often creates natural teachers. They are natural teachers. Even I would say there is no need to study anything for them. I would say they have their own. Some people may be by birth they become psychologists. You might be surprised how a Jupiter and Punarvasu nakshatra. Punarvasu itself has that ability of psychology. They no need to study anything. No need to study any book. You would be surprised by seeing a high amounts of Punarvasu energy person. Oh my God, how this person is able to explain psychology like this. Just by seeing others, he is able to tell some qualities of the person, and also he is expecting so and so behavior from this person. How this Punarvasu energy persons can be this much of can be very good at psychology. You may think this particular person might have studied psychology throughout his life, but he or she studied something else, but still these people are very good at psychology, I would say, right? So they are natural teachers, they are natural healers, they are the guides. See, they are the healers because they understand the nature of others very clearly. So that's a fundamental expectation from this energy. And a person with Jupiter and Punarvasu usually develops some kind of qualities. I would say, generally, I say they have strong moral compass, right? Even though because of other planets, it can be disturbed to some extent, but generally speaking, their moral compass is very, very strong. and they have some natural optimism. Even though they are getting a lot and lot of difficulties in life, they still have a very very high amounts of optimism. Ability to recover from failure is the fundamental energy, and the spiritual inclination is also very very good for them, and kindness and generosity, right? Even though because of some planet, right, some of the Jupiter and Punarvasu people are even though the other planets are giving some kind of miserly behavior to them, we say lobhi in Sanskrit, but still Jupiter and Punarvasu people, they donate a lot at some point of time in their life. That is the generosity and kindness that they have. A very very good motherly qualities they have, I would say. Like spending money on kids or spending money out of kindness can also be observed here. That's what I can see. Even if things go wrong, life will correct itself. That is the natural belief that they have, right? So Punarvasu is all about energy of renewal, energy of renewal. So now the intelligence and learning part, if you observe, because Jupiter is all about that learning and all. So Jupiter basically represents the knowledge, philosophy, higher learning, right? So when placed in Punarvasu nakshatra, the mind becomes philosophical, obviously. The person becomes very philosophical, very curious about spiritual truths, very much interested in scriptures, philosophy, or some wisdom traditions the person would be interested in. See, many people I saw with this placement, they are very much interested in teaching, they are interested in counseling, they are very good counselors also. I told you, right, they are very good at observing others, and just by some seconds of observation they can get some idea about others. So counseling and mentoring, they can mentor people very well. And then guiding others. So it's always about I see only this kind of people more. I'm again telling you, their education, their formal education can be anything, but they are very good counselors, mentors, and they are very good at guiding others. You would be thinking, oh my god, they have this much of guidance capacity, then why couldn't they build a very good career? Why couldn't they build a very good life? Even though they are not able to build a very good life for themselves, even though they are not able to build any good career for them, but they can guide others. Of course, there are so many people who already built very good career for them with this placement, but I am not telling about that. I'm telling, irrespective of their career, irrespective of their education system, they are very good counselors, they are very good mentors, they are very good at guiding others. That's what I'm telling. That is the energy of Punarvasu, and as Jupiter is present, it is going into the next level, right? So now a spiritual influence I should talk about, because here the deity is Aditi, the mother of all the gods. So this placement generally gives, I have seen so many people, Punarvasu, you would be thinking, especially Jupiter and Punarvasu, you can say it's in the next level, they get some divine protection. You would be thinking, this person would not, is something like, I saw one person who studied some of the subjects for a long, generally we pass in 3 years, let us say one particular one particular course, right? Let us say in 3 years, but I saw people passing it in 5-6 years, but still they have a very comfortable life. They get some divine protection. That's what I want to tell. Of course, whether they are satisfied with that or not, it's a different thing, but I saw people with some good divine protection with this placement, and strong intuition power. Their intuition is in the next level. Just by observing you, they can understand whether you are a kind of how much value you are giving to your life, and what you're doing, and what kind of behavior you would have. These things they can tell just by observing you 10 seconds. So strong intuition they have. connection to some universal compassion. They have some compassion also, right? So see, do not worry if even if they are a bit angry with you. Do not worry, they are very much forgiving in nature. So even if they are angry with you, with this Jupiter and Punarvasu people, just go and behave nicely with them. They easily they forgive you, and they can provide you whatever you want. So they're good people, I would say. But sometimes, by seeing you, let us say you are angry, you're showing a lot of anger towards them. Just by seeing you, they can understand, okay, this person is expressing anger to me. And the Jupiter and Punarvasu person would not like you that time. But if you say sorry to them, they easily forgive you, and they can provide you whatever you want. You got it? Basically, I want to tell you, do not worry about their even if they are showing some anger towards you, do not worry about them. Even if they are not liking you, do not worry about them. Just go and tell sorry or something. They easily forgive you, and they can provide you whatever you want. That's what I want to tell you. So they have lot of good connection to universal compassion. That's what I want to clearly tell you. These people often feel a natural responsibility to help others. So they may feel drawn to some yoga. So I see a lot of Punarvasu energy people with Jupiter energy. It is in the next level, I would say, because Jupiter, Punarvasu, both correlate very well. At some point of time, at any cost, at any point of time or whatever, they do yoga in their life. And meditation, philosophy, dharma, these things follow. These are the basic things for them. They do it. And the life pattern is generally fall and rise, as we discussed. Punarvasu means Punah Vasu, right? Punah means again, and Vasu means the prosperity. So it's something like prosperity comes again. So even if they fall back at some point of time in their life, but they rise again, do not worry. So that's what I want to tell you. That is the major theme of Punarvasu, right? Fall, recovery, and growth. That is a fundamental pattern of Punarvasu nakshatra. So people with Jupiter here may experience some early struggles in their life, learning through mistakes, and later they get success and wisdom also in their life. So the key trait is they always bounce back. So do not worry about it, even if you have some problems in your life. And as Jupiter is in Punarvasu, this bouncing back is much more better, I would say. So Jupiter in Punarvasu, it supports generally the careers involving, whether they like teaching or not, they are good teachers. That's a fundamental thing. They're good educators. They have some spirituality, the power of spirituality. They're also very good at law, because Jupiter is law planet, and Punarvasu is also having a lot of Jupiterian qualities. Law, philosophy, counseling, healing professions, they are very good at these areas. It can also support some writing, research, and public speaking to some levels. So Jupiter gives basically that wisdom and guidance abilities. Even if they are academically very good or not, it doesn't matter. They have that wisdom, they have the ability to guide others. And then as Jupiter is in Punarvasu, as we're talking about Jupiter, we also talk about wealth and prosperity, because this placement can give stable but ethical wealth. So in the age of Kali, this ethical wealth can satisfy the native or not. It is another discussion, but they can gain ethical wealth, right? So Jupiter generally gives wealth through knowledge, wealth through teaching, wealth through advising. So more wisdom, I would say, compared to more money. So it's up to them whether they are satisfied with their money or not. It's a secondary thing, but they have a lot of wisdom irrespective of their educational qualifications. So the wisdom is much more prominent, you can say. It's compared to money, but ethical wealth, right? In Kali Yuga, this ethical wealth is a kind of normal wealth, we say, but still it is a good wealth, right? Don't worry about it. It's a good wealth, good amount, fine. So personality, if you observe their personality, they're very, very forgiving in nature. They're supportive, they're loyal, they're protective. They often behave like teachers. They're generally, they guide others. They are counselors by default. So sometimes, they forgive very, very easily. Too easily they forgive. They trust people too much. It's something like they do it like they do not have any choice, but even though they have a lot of choices, but still they behave like this, right? They trust others too much, they forgive others too much. So even though it seems like they do not trust you, but still they trust you, and they believe you, they forgive you very easily. So if this particular placement, Jupiter in Punarvasu nakshatra, if it is placed on Rahu Ketu axis also, if this Jupiter is present on Rahu Ketu axis, which means affliction, or if it is watched by Saturn or Mars, which is a kind of making the planet weaker, or it is giving a kind of maleficity to Jupiter, because irrespective of whether Saturn and Mars are functionally malefic or benefic to your ascendant, their aspects are always malefic. So if this Jupiter is watched by Saturn or Mars, then there is a kind of negative quality associated with it, that is over idealism, right? Or a kind of spiritual arrogance, or giving others too many chances. Even though others are doing 100 mistakes, they are giving chance for 200 time also, right? So, but if they are doing it, they learn more wisdom, or they learn more wisdom. That's what I can say. But this is the problem with them. If this Jupiter is becoming weak or afflicted, So I want to tell you some special strength of this particular placement. That is, Jupiter in Punarvasu nakshatra is often considered a protective placement. So many astrological, so much of astrological literature is available on this placement, and this placement gives protection during crisis and spiritual guidance and blessings from teachers and gurus as well. So that is the whole thing. It's the energy of divine protection, I would say, right? So this is what I understood from this placement, Jupiter in Punarvasu nakshatra. Thanks for watching this video.